on all my children.
The money is ours, yours and mine, and there's nothing my grandfather can do that can change the terms of the trust.
What's the catch?
I got your money, which buys my silence. I hope you know what you're doing.
Well, your mother's alive.
Not to me. You look slick, Jimmy.
Yeah?
Going corporate?
No, man, going family. The big guns are coming in today.
Hector and the wife, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, sisters loved it, right?
They loved it, but my parents, man, come on. I mean, I don't expect a disaster exactly, but from Dean's List to dive.
Just need a little imagination.
Oh, they've got imagination, Noah. Mateo, the whiz kid millionaire, saves Wall Street and achieves world peace. That's
Could
what they
happen.
want.
Hey, you could turn this place into happening in spot, franchise it, go corporate, global, put you in a cover of Mogul magazine.
Yeah, dream on.
Maybe let me shoot the cover, huh?
Okay.
You put in a word for me.
All right.
Yeah. He's right here. Hang on. It's for you.
Who is it? Hello?
Hey, baby.
Oh, hey.
I'm just calling to wish you luck.
Oh, I need it. I wish you were here.
Don't worry about a thing. Now, listen. If your parents give you a hard time and they absolutely hate the place, just remind them that you only own half.
Yes, I only own half. It's okay then, right? But everything's okay. At least I own half a business. I don't care what my parents think. You know what? I may save Wall Street. I love you.
I love you more.
Okay,
I gotta run.
Yeah, wish me luck, and I'll tell you what happens, okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Yes, Haley, you did the right thing. You definitely did the right thing.
Hi, excuse me. May I say something?
Jim and Leslie Carson, this is Dr. Maria Santos.
I understand that you're thinking of adopting.
Yes, the baby born to the young woman at the shelter.
Is there a problem with the baby?
Oh, no, the baby is fine. I just wanted to let you know that I understand how difficult this process is because I've been through it myself.
You see, Jim, Dr. Santos went through it and everything turned out okay, right? My husband is so worried something will go wrong with the adoption. But once you take your baby home, the baby's your baby. No problem. Isn't that right?
Do you have a few minutes that we could talk? Do you mind?
Of course.
Sure.
Tell me again that this is gonna work.
Kelsey is absolutely certain that she's going to get half of your trust fund if she remains married to you for 3 years, and she has already approved of Sammy going back to Wild Wind.
And once he's safe, back
I'll
with the
have
Grays.
the marriage annulled.
Oh, whoa. So then I'll have Kelsey off my back, and Sam will be back where he belongs.
Don't wait too long. I'm sure Kelsey is not going to be duped for very long, so I'd better get Walter on phase 2.
Well, you're starting to look like you could drop off to sleep. Yeah. You want your kangaroo?
Wish I could. Either that or crawl in a hole. I'd be glad to know he's going back to Edmund and Maria. Honest. I signed over the parental rights today.
Well, it is about time. That little boy never should have been taken away from the Grays to begin with.
Well, excuse me for getting attached.
Oh, please, get real. The only thing you're attached to is Bobby's money.
It's really nice, Opal. Thank you.
Well, whatever the reason, I'm very relieved that you're doing the right thing.
You own half this town. Maybe I won't be the Pine Valley pariah.
The important thing is that Sammy is back where he belongs. And someday you'll understand just how important that is when you finally
Become human?
grow up.
Excuse me. Belinda, how's it going?
Kelsey, how are you?
Oh, okay. Could be better, but what the heck. Listen, you're my attorney, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I ask you just a few questions about some papers that I signed?
Tradition, that's all it is.
I see. It's like Haley's engagement ring.
Right. Exactly. And I'm the standard bearer for the Santos name. And I have to add to the list of accomplishments. No, I don't just have to add, I have to better it all. I have to be better. You understand? I have to be better than my dad, and his grandfather, and his uncle's friend, and everybody else, man. And not only that, my sisters and I are the first generation born and raised here in the United States.
I understand. It's like you gotta make the old country proud, right?
And the new country. They must respect the Santos name in this country, Mateo.
Well, it's not too much pressure.
Pressure? Even when I was a kid, man. Report cards, Noah. I mean, I stayed up all night, man. I didn't eat for weeks thinking about it.
Well, Hector wanted all A's, huh?
All A's? Every morning I got the drill. School is not for fun. It's for good grades, and it's to somewhere to make something out of yourself.
And you did that, right?
Yeah, of course, man. I remember one semester, all A's. 1B, okay? The best report card of my life ever since. All right, so I was happy, but I couldn't enjoy it because I knew I was coming home, and my dad would see that lousy B, all right? And he'd make me feel bad. But I pretended I didn't, you know, I was like, yes, Dad, okay, no, I'll do better. But I felt bad, man, you know?
Well, you done better than me, Willie. I never do for the A's. I mean, I heard of, but one never showed up in the report card of mine.
Well, grades don't prove anything.
Oh, yeah, they do. You would have been sweating that B, am I right? I just didn't have anybody to impress, all right? And my daddy died before I got to know him good. My mom, she hung around a couple of years, and she split.
I didn't know that, man. I'm sorry.
No, don't be. No, don't be. All I'm saying is, you know, just be glad you got some folks who love you enough to care about something as stupid as grades. Just love you in general, all right?
Funny, you know, I never figured on her as being such an operator.
Oh, well, she is, yes, and she's a very sharp one. I don't expect our scheme will keep her tricked for very long. We're fighting time.
Yeah, time. I've been married to her for, what's it been? About 6 weeks. It seems like forever.
Yes, I can imagine.
You never bought it, did you?
What? You, a happy bridegroom? Hardly.
Oh, boy. You and Opal must have thought that I was the jerk of all time, the way I was acting.
Well, attaching yourself to a schemer like Kelsey certainly was uncharacteristic. But I knew that there was a reason. I just hoped that you weren't in it for the money. That's why I came down on you so hard.
About the trust fund?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to see how much you would sacrifice for Sammy.
Yeah. You know, I never really felt like Sam was my son. But then she came along and took him away from the Grays, and something in me, I don't know, just clicked. And then, you know, I don't know, maybe it was having him here and holding him, rocking him to sleep and looking in his eyes and seeing all this hope and innocence. But I just wasn't ready. But I did know that I could get him back where he needed to be. I am telling you, Grandfather, this has just gotta work, okay? Because Sam deserves to be the best that he can be. He deserves to have a mom and a pop who are really gonna cherish him. I'll tell you what, you're right about one thing. Once Kelsey gets any whiff of a double cross, she'll make sure there's hell to pay.
I'd rather we discuss this in my office. Why don't you call and make an appointment?
Look, if it's regarding the fees...
No, that's not the issue.
Well, because I'm going to be running into a ton of cash, so you'll get paid.
Kelsey, that doesn't concern me.
You see, I just signed some papers that say that I'm going to be running into $1 million in 3 years, and there's interest, so you'll get paid.
What are you talking about?
See, if I stay married to Bobby for 3 years and I give Sam up, then I get half his trust fund.
Excuse me?
It's just on the conditions that I terminate my parental rights to Sam, and I stay hitched for 3 years. Then you're looking at me getting a cool mill. Look at me, the wealthy divorcee.
So you're planning on divorcing in 3 years?
Yeah, it's all signed, sealed, and delivered. Incredible, huh?
What do you get if the marriage is annulled?
Come again?
In the event of an annulment, is the settlement the same?
Wait a minute, wait a minute. In an annulment, both parties have to be going in on it, right? They both have to agree.
Unless the marriage is invalid.
Invalid?
Which can be asserted by only one party.
What grounds?
Well, it can get complicated, but the simplest route is to simply testify that the marriage was never consummated.
How can you prove that? I mean, if one party says there was nonstop sex, who's to say there wasn't?
Kelsey, why did you and Bobby get married?
And it's my word against his, right?
It was clear Bobby was not in love with you. Now, why did he marry you? For Sam?
Yeah, that had a lot to do with it.
A lot? How much?
Well...
Kelsey, you want me to be straight with you, then be straight with me.
Okay, I am. I will. I married Bobby because he promised me the money.
And what did Bobby get in return?
Just that I returned Sam back to Edmund and Maria. Look, we signed these huge, complicated contracts already.
How long have you and Bobby been married?
6 weeks.
Listen, if anyone contests this, if anyone takes you to court, chances are it will be thrown out as bogus. What? Invalid, annulled, fraudulent even.
And I won't get my money?
Considering your contract to swap Sam like so much junk at a swap meet, I think you can kiss the good life goodbye. See, Kelsey, sometimes the system does work. Excuse me.
I am not done with you yet, Warner. I haven't played my last card.
I bet Mom and Dad were really freaked out about this, huh?
Now, your mother, she is very pleased about your devotion to that child.
Yeah, well, somebody had to pay attention to the kid, right?
Well, you did more than that. You assumed complete responsibility. You loved him.
You know, I think I always will.
Yeah. You're a real father. Your mother knows that. And Opal and I know it, too. We're very proud of you.
The only thing I know is no matter what, Sam deserves a shot at a decent life.
He certainly does. Now, come on, Bobby. You've done the right thing. I tell you and Edmund are two entirely different people, but in a way, you're exactly the same by your undisputed devotion to that child.